Hey guys, Epitamus. So, for a lot of you guys, depending on who you are, obviously, you would know, school is starting back up soon. I got less than a week, and since I'm going into my third year of high school, I was like, everyone else is doing their back to school videos, and I was thinking, I'm still in school, so a lot of my intellect on the matter is still very, very fresh in my mind. And with getting ready for the new year, I was thinking, there are some people in, middle school going into high school, and then there are younger kids that are also going from elementary school to middle school that this video can also apply to. I have 6 steps for you guys that I think will help you guys make the transition into a more middle school and into a more high school setting. The first step is very important, and if you are in middle school already, you know what these two are. It's your ID number and your ID card. Now, it's really good to memorize your ID number, but as long as you have your card, you don't necessarily have to. But especially for in middle school and high school, you need that number. I'm trying to make a video here, cars. Why? But you especially need to know your number for checking out books, getting your lunch if you eat lunch at school. With certain school events, you actually have to have your ID, even though the teacher's standing there as the bouncer knows who you are, and you say hi to him on a daily basis. You still would say need your card to get into said school events, but it's just a lot easier to memorize your number. So if you're in lunch line or you're getting a book for class, you can just go and put it in and you're done. If you can't memorize it, or if you're having trouble, just make sure you have your card on you, because at least where I go to school, our ID cards have barcodes on them, which you can just scan. 2 is very important, and anyone knows exactly what I'm talking about, is know your school's layout. My school has 4 wings. A wing, well actually it has 5. A wing, B wing, C wing, which is actually in the middle with the offices and cafeteria and stuff, and D wing and E wing. A wing is your arts and computer stuff. B and D are normal classes, and then E was PE and stuff. But my school is 2 stories, so it's the way I helped remember it is all the 100s for say classroom numbers and 1000s for say locker numbers, and all the 2s are upstairs. So 1s be downstairs, 2s be upstairs. It was the same with my middle school too. But I'm also fully aware that there are also 1-story schools, and so it's really good to where the day you go in for registration and all of that, just go and scope out the entire school. If you get a draft schedule early, like I do, it's really good to kind of go scope out where your classes are. If you're starting out in a new school, it's really good just to get a feel for it. Because both in middle school and in high school, there was one point where I had a class and I couldn't find the classroom, and I was scanning everywhere for the stupid room number, and I just couldn't find it. And I ended up walking past it twice, and eventually, right before class started, I had to ask and then run to my class in order to make it there on time. So no one's gonna blame you if you're late to class in the first week or so, especially if you're a freshman, because everyone's been through that. So don't worry about being late. As long as you make it to class and just do everything you're supposed to, you'll be fine. Point 2 kind of also goes into point 3, which is also know where your locker is. The lockers at my school are really weird in more than one way. The first way isn't actually all that weird. Your freshman year, you have to pair up and share lockers. Every other year, you get your own. Second way, know how to open your locker. The lockers at my school, I don't even know why they give you the third number on your combination, because you literally just turn it right, do your first number, turn it left, skip the first number once, put in your second number, and then you just turn it right until it tightens and you pull it open. But on every single piece of paper that they give you that lists your locker number and combination, there's always 3 numbers, even though you never use the last number. Maybe that's just where the number, where the little arrow thing coincides and to where you pull it open, but it really doesn't matter. At least at my school. 4 is a big one. If you get a draft schedule and you have all your classes listed there for you, unless you know that you're going to change a couple of them, I don't do any of my school supply shopping until after I get my draft schedule, because then I pretty much know what classes I have. And this goes more in high school, because in middle school they don't actually let you carry your backpacks around. You have to keep them in your locker. And I'm pretty sure that's just like a security thing, but it's whatever. In high school, you actually get to keep your backpack with you. Everyone carries around a backpack at my school. No one, not has a backpack. For instance, here's my backpack. And I have all my crap in here. I don't have a binder like I did in middle school. I just have my big pocket with just all my loose spirals in here. And since I know what classes I have, I just go and I get color coordinated spirals. And these are the spirals I use. Let me just show you for good fun sake. This, for instance, would be my history spiral because it's black. I always color code my things. History is black, English is green, science is usually red, math is just kind of whatever, because I get a graph paper spiral. Any math class, just get a graph paper spiral. You have no idea how useful these things are. Yes, they're smaller than your other spirals. And yes, you might not use the graph paper all the time. You can't even see that because it's too bright. Anyway, you get the point I'm trying to make. You won't always need the graph paper, but we're kids. We're lazy. We don't like having to dig through all of this to get one little measly sheet of paper. Just get a spiral. Walmart should carry them. So if you have a Walmart by you and you shop there on a regular basis, go and check it out. My Walmart actually stopped carrying these last year, and I was franticking. That's not even a word. I was freaking out. I was trying so hard to find these, and when I finally found them at an Office Max, I stocked up and bought 5. Cause I usually burn through all of this in 1 year. So if you're someone who really either rips paper out of your spiral like I do, or just likes writing and doodling and taking really good notes, you're probably going to burn through these before second semester is up. The thing I like about these spirals is that these are 5-star. So, there you go. And these have folders on the inside. It's part of the spiral, and it's got a folder on the back and folder on the front. And then just a normal spiral. I don't ever buy any other spirals for my classes anymore. Because, 1, I won't have to worry about buying one of those thin paper flimsy ones. And 2, it's right there. So with all your notes, any loose papers for assignments and stuff that you have is just all right there. It's very much more convenient. With these spirals, you can beat the crap out of them. You really can. With the 5-star, they are very durable. If you look at my little folder here, it's all taped up. Now, this doesn't usually happen. This is mainly caused by stuffing them really full, and so they start to tear and rip a little bit. But all I've really done to fix this is like you see, I've just taken a bunch of like Scotch tape, or at least you might see a bunch of Scotch tape, and I've just like taped at the bottom and the side, and it will hold out for months and months. And yeah, these are great spirals, especially if you just like throwing your backpack around knowing that you don't have to worry about your stuff inside, because I do that a lot. I just toss my backpack around all the time. You will find your own unique way to set up your own system, but I kind of just have, this is my binder, okay? This little pocket right here, you open it, that's where all my pencils and crap is, just in there, just loose. And you will find that having just everything there with you, and it's just so much easier. You will still have maybe that one teacher that is really picky with how they want you to set up their class stuff, like my science teacher freshman year. Oh, that's a story for another video. But depending on what teachers you have, it's really easy just to, if you know what classes you have on your draft schedule, or you're just gonna switch over to, it's really easy to just get a spiral for each class, because that will save you a lot of room instead of getting a binder and having all your crap in that and then having to carry all of that around. All I have is a calculator, a ruler, my pencils and things, a pocket for my lunch, because I never eat school lunch, but that's my own thing. And then I just have roughly 6 to 7 spirals, and that's it. That is the gist of what you need for high school anyway. Unless you like take one of those special classes that requires, like an art class that requires a bunch of its own special stuff, you shouldn't have to really worry about buying too much. It's not like when you're in, say, elementary school and they give you a list of like all these random things that you never actually end up using. You can pretty much pick for yourself and just go the simple route. 5, this is gonna sound pretty generic, but just do it. And by this, I mean your schoolwork and your homework. Just do it. Yes, I know I'm gonna have to go through that in 2 more weeks. Actually, like a week and a half. But homework sucks. It does. However, if you have free time in class and you already have your homework assignment, start working on it in class. Like every day in math class, I would always end up finishing early because we were the class that was ahead of all the other classes, and I was usually always pretty fast with math. And so I always had like at least a half an hour to 20 minutes of extra time, and almost on a regular basis, I was able to finish my homework for that day in class. And math was, like, for the past 2 years, has been my last class of the day. And there were days, most of the time, the only homework I had was math. So being able to finish it in class like that, and then just be able to go home and just veg, is glorious. So if you have extra time in class, and you have your homework assignment and everything, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's nice to have a little of a short relaxed time before either you go home and then have to do the homework, or like in between another class. And I understand that. I mean, if you got some big presentation for next class, take care of what you need to take care of. But if you have nothing to do, just do your homework. It is so much easier. I have gone through school the last 2 years with decent grades and passing grades and everything just because I did my homework. And most of the time, I hardly did any of my homework at home. And I don't think I did any extra credit at all last year. And I ended with mostly A's and B's. I know getting passing grades is hard for some people. Even if they're keeping up on all their homework and stuff, that's great. Good job. Keep working. You will see the reward of that. You will. People like hard workers. Even if your grades aren't the best, the fact that you're trying super hard says something. So just keep doing what you're doing. Good job. High five. Keep doing you. You know how you see those shows when you're a kid, and there's always like that prissy high-heeled girl that's like queen of the school and everything, the jocks, the goth emo kids, the nerds. Yeah, there's no queen of the school, there are no big jerk jocks, nothing like that. Everyone just kind of minds their own business or helps someone out a little bit when they can. So all I can say on that note is just be yourself. And yes, that's really generic, but it's generic because it's true. Just be yourself. Don't try to be a douche to other people. Just, you don't have to necessarily be the friendliest person in the world, because for some people that's just not their nature. But don't go out of your way to be that jerk. Just be yourself. Just, like, mind your own business. And, like, if someone asks you for a piece of paper because it's a test and they don't have any, just give them a piece of paper. I give everyone a piece of papers. Why do you think I have, like, no paper left? Because I give it all away. All of that, this is not blank paper, by the way. All of this has notes and stuff on it. So, yeah, I share all of my paper. Last year, I literally had, for the last month of school, I had to borrow paper from everyone that I gave paper to. It was basically me saying, hey, give me my paper back. I desperately need it right now. So yeah, guys, those were my kind of 6 tips and things to help you guys transition into either middle school and high school. So, yeah. Keep in mind, these are some of the things I've had to go through, and so these are kind of just based off of my own experiences. But generally speaking, I think a lot of this can help people. So if you guys have any other tips that I may have didn't said, or they're just from your own experiences, please put them in the comments below. I'm sure it would end up helping a lot of people. And yeah, tell me guys what you thought of this video. Was it good? Did it suck? Do you care? Yeah. So that's all I got for today, guys. Have a good time doing whatever you're just doing. Whenever you're just doing it. Have a good school year, and I shall see you guys